Welcome back to another episode of Two Daddies Judging Baddies.
We judge baddies.
Where we read internet stories and then we judge people. Today, it's just a bunch of relationship stories. People love the relationship stories. I don't know why. On TikTok, Facebook, everything, podcast, they love the relationship drama. They just love the drama of it.
Because we're all in relationships of some sort.
Maybe we need to do true crime. I would be a different kind of true crime podcaster. I'm only doing it for money. Like the other ones, they swear up and down they don't do it for money. All of them. Mr. Ballin, Bailey, Sarian, however you say her name, all the true crime people, they're just like, we get down to the brass tacks and the facts. Me, I'd be like and share if you don't want to end up like little Timmy found in the ditch. I would do it. Like that is why. Look, just don't do something under like a, falsehood of like I care, do it under the you want to make money.
Yeah, that's what they're doing it for.
Yeah, but that's just say it. Just say it, okay? Like when I came up with the idea of doing the podcast, definitely wasn't to make money though. I don't know why. Why did I spit a podcast to you?
I think it was to make money.
Well, I mean, definitely that's one of the things behind it. Nobody on earth. There are a couple people who are just like very passionate about science and stuff like that. And their passion exudes, It's beautiful. I think when I came up with it, it was just like, yeah, man, we could probably make money off a podcast.
Yeah. And
then we started doing that podcast. And I was like, I like reading the Reddit stories. So we started a separate one.
Nope.
And we just read the Reddit stories.
That is Mike's way that he will rewrite it. The way it was is we were doing the Mike and Dylan hate drama thing. And we read Reddit stories. We read user submissions. And then Mike would go off on a tangent of his lore. And then one commenter, a singular comment, said, you guys should really just do the Reddit stories as a separate podcast because I just like the Reddit stories. I like the lore too, but they shouldn't be in the same thing. And from that moment, Mike decided we should just do a shorter one that was 15 to 20 minutes long of just Reddit stories. And so Mike stole away the Reddits from the Mike and Dylan hate drama, and that is the actual lore of it.
And now this shit's like an hour to 2 hours of us reading Reddit stories, going off on lore and shit like that.
Because once again, you also you're like, podcasts, they don't need to be long. And I was like, yes, the people want them long. People that listen to podcasts, they like long podcasts. If you're getting like a news update, you might want like a 20-minute, like, give me the top news.
Breaking news. Everything sucks right now.
But when you're listening to somebody talk about the craziness that is the stories of Reddit, you're not like, 20 minutes. Okay, now I need to go do something else. Like you're in a car, you're driving, you're working, you're doing something.
So you frame it like that. I frame it as in Michael cares what the people wants. The people.
No, you do not.
I care about what the people want.
You care when people agree with your caring.
Thank you. That was a very beautiful way to put that. Honestly,
if people agree with Mike, then Mike is like, yes, I care about what the people think.
See? And that is beautiful right there. And I'd make a good politician. Like I care about you as long as you agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah. As long as you agree with my sponsors and what they are saying.
Yeah, what they are saying. We don't have any sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by depression. Maybe this will make you less sad.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's so weird. Actual friends doing a podcast. Not actual friends that are girls. I don't count women as friends when they're friends because they're not really friends. Like if you find two women, they've been best friends forever, thick as thieves, okay? And you get one of them women along, they'll be like, yeah, my friend is such a bitch. Gosh, I've hung around women and like a friend will leave the table and those friends just start eating her alive. I'm like, why would she wear that? Like, when's she gonna break up with her boyfriend? Like, oh my God. You hear how she was talking through her nose? Hey guys. I'm like, why are y'all friends? Guys don't do this. We don't. If we talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk shit to Dylan all the time. That's it.
Yeah, no, you abuse me. I know.
I don't abuse Dylan. I love Dylan. We
were coming up with a concept for a movie, and I threw out an idea. And Mike's just like, that's stupid. No, we ain't doing that. And I was like, bro.
I specifically said I hated it.
Yeah. And I was like, all the ideas you spit at me, and I've never once said I hate it. I'm like, these are the problems with that. But I've never once told you like, I hate it. We ain't doing that.
Because can we bring up the scenario in the movie?
No, we're not gonna.
Why can't we bring up the scenario?
Because then we have to, like, this is a podcast about Reddit things. We're going way off into the weeds. And no, you find a problem with that, but you once again, it's what Mike thinks, and then you paint that to the whole world. There's plenty of stories where that is exactly how it goes down, and that is completely fine. And people don't have to fall in love with the villain. You said that because of, Terrify or whatever. People want to see that. But like, that is not the story. We were not building a franchise around this.
Right.
So
I had a franchise built.
You do not have a franchise.
I did, because I told you about in the second movie, the followers come when the police shootout happens, and then the third one, they're in a cult. There was a whole franchise built around that guy. Whole franchise built around it. This is what happens when friends come up with podcasts. You're going to hear them argue sometimes, and it's okay. When the podcast turns off, me and Dylan are not like fucking beating each other up and shit like that.
Except for after today.
When one day we are very rich, we might be the people that are just like, I think it's going to be Dylan, not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm rich, and yeah, I'll be doing drugs and stuff like that, like copious amounts, but I'm going to be easy to get along with. I think Dylan's going to be the one where, I can start this podcast without my green M&Ms. It was a joke. I don't think Dylan's going to be like that. God, stop looking at me like that, Dylan. I think Dylan is my conscience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this
fucking Jiminy Cricket.
It feels like fucking Fight Club. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not real.
Yeah, Dylan's not real. People just listen to this podcast and then, oh my God, look, I thought about that. And I was like, what if that was a thing? And people are like, yeah, well, we love Dylan, Mike. Dylan's such a good. And now we got Gabriel, Dylan, Mike, and Gabriel.
Tony. And
I just wake up one day. I fucking walk in here. There's no cameras or nothing like that. It's just like a webcam sitting right there, a little fucking microphone sitting right here. I'm like, what's happening? Some doctors come in. Hey, bud. I'm like, oh God.
Are you ready to do your little podcasty thing today?
Yeah. Where's Dylan at? Dylan's here. Look, he's sitting in the chair. Nobody's sitting there. The medication's working. What? Oh, see, now I'm all fucked up. What if there was a situation? None of this was real.
It isn't real.
What if we're sitting here mid-podcast? I'm like, I just look at you. I'm like, Dylan, wake up. Wake up. And then you wake up and you're in a fucking hospital bed. There's tubes and everything. You were in a snowboarding accident when you were 16.
A better fucking life than...
Right. I'd be pissed. I'm like, Coma Mike, the best you could think of was podcaster who made no money?
Yeah, poor
podcaster? Like, that was
the adventure that you wanted to go on.
God, that would be the saddest thing ever had we not seen Elon Musk beg to go to Jeffrey Epstein's parties. Like, that would be the saddest. Like, guy goes into coma and imagines his life as a poor podcaster. But then there's Jeff, like, oh, that party sounds fun, guys. You got room for one more? And they're like, no, we don't. You can't come to our making love to children party. What's worse?
This intro.
Yeah, being on. Yeah, this intro is terrible. We're sorry, guys. This is a fucking 8-minute intro. But what's worse, going to the island or wanting to go to the island, but they don't want to let you on the island.
Both are god awful.
Two daddies. Judging baddies. Am I the asshole? My girlfriend had a threesome with 2 of her friends right before we got together.
Well, you weren't together.
Yeah, you weren't together.
But, yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it out. For context, my girlfriend, 22 female, and I, 26 male, have been dating for about 10 months now, and things are great other than this one thing. It always reminds me of the Dave Chappelle thing. Well, in college, I had a threesome with 2 guys. What's my biggest regret? Having sex with old gangbang here without a rubber. We had talked about body counts and past relationships at the very start of our relationship, and we both told each other everything, or so I thought. She recently sat me down and told me that she lied about her body count in the start of our relationship, and I wasn't upset about that too much until she told me who it was with. She told me she had a threesome with 2 of her friends that are a couple, 23 male, 23 female. Now you got to go hang out with them and just imagine the great night that dude had with your girl. It's only fair. It's only fair now that she did this while her and I were just beginning to talk and hang out with each other. It actually happened on the same day she had just been with me. So she left my house to go to their house that night and have a threesome. To be clear, we were not dating yet, so I wouldn't count it as cheating, but we were mildly flirting and hanging out. Imagine being like, fuck yeah, I fuck with this girl. I'm like, that's cool. And she leaves and was like, bye. And then you find out she was in a threesome with a... Feels wrong, right? But they're not together, so technically it's not anything.
I think the details.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
The part about that bothers me the most is that she introduced me to these two people as her platonic friends, and they eventually became my friends too. Fast forward to now, 10 months later, and we all four hung out often, going on double dates and hikes and things like that. I thought I had made some wholesome new friends that could last for a while. But now with this information, I can't even look at them. It makes me cringe and get grossed out. I no longer have any respect for them. We had all been friends for almost a year, but now to find out they both had a threesome with my girlfriend right before we got together is so shocking and insanely weird, awkward to think about.
I don't feel like you, like, that's the part is now it's not just anybody that she had a threesome with. It's the fact that they are the friends that they spend all this time around. And this whole time, right as you guys were starting to date, he was dicking her down with his girlfriend. And now everybody knows all this.
Except you.
Except for you. And this whole time you thought there's a friend, there's, this couple, we did, and the whole dynamic has changed.
My girlfriend told me that nothing had ever happened with them since then, and she feels guilty about it, and I do believe her. I'm just struggling with these feelings of being so shocked and disgusted by the fact that it happened. If it was not with two of our closest friends, it might be different, but since it was with two people I've come to know, it's just so upsetting to me. She told me she would stop being friends with them but I feel like the damage has already been done. I was already kind of suspicious and wary of the guy, and I had even brought it up to her because they would just hang out so close and unnecessarily.
Like flirty touching.
Right, because they would hang out so close and unnecessarily touch each other, like basically wrestling and stuff like that.
That ain't happening with a girl.
Right,
that
yeah.
I'm dating, period.
She stopped doing that stuff mostly, but I remember it used to happen a lot at the beginning of our relationship, and she would reassure me that it was only ever platonic and nothing will ever happen. Well, then she's lying. So,
and she lied the whole way.
The whole time. Am I overreacting or underreacting? Is this relationship ending, or should I just try to move forward since it happened 10 months ago?
Fuck that. Gone.
Fuck yeah. Like my girl ain't wrestling with another dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you try to start wrestling my girl, I'm wrestling you.
Yeah, and after watching Game of Thrones, I'm like, I don't care if he's your brother.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The actress that plays Cersei Lannister, though, I think back, my sister, she's a big old gal. Right? She's a hefty lass. But if it was Cersei Lannister,
got to keep that royal blood.
That's right. Pure. There you go. It's like Targaryen blood. They wanted to keep it pure. There was a lot of incest with the Targaryens. You'll find out more about that later in the story. It's so crazy, just like you're watching this, and I will not spoil a damn thing for Dylan.
No, he's done a really, really good job.
Yeah, I'll just quit talking about it.
Every time I start talking, he's like I can see faces, and I'm just like, we're good.
Yep, I'm not going to say, well, just wait till a shocking thing happens. None of that shit. Nope. You're not getting nothing. Because if someone was like, hey man, in season 5, this real shocking thing happens, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler to somebody.
So the crazy thing is like when I talk to my wife about stuff, she's like, well, tell me what's going to happen. I'm like, no, like that's the point of watching the story. Like yes, you will find out details about this, but like, I'm not going to tell you about it. Like, I don't want to ruin it for you. Just watch it. That's part, like, otherwise I'll tell you all the details and you don't have to watch it anymore.
So I'm a big, Chernobyl nerd, and I've looked at all the, stuff around it. I've looked at fucking conspiracies around it, all sorts of shit. So my wife's like, you really need to watch Chernobyl with me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I fucking like Chernobyl. I like the story around it. I'm fascinated with the story around it and, fucking radionucleides and all that nerd stuff. So I'm watching it with her, and she's just like, yeah. And actually in real life, I'm like, I know what happened. I know what happened. She's explaining where, the firefighter's dying. And I'm like, yeah, she's her baby. She's going to lose her baby. And she's like, have you seen the show before? I'm like, no, it's based on a fucking real thing. So then they bring in the minister of coal, and she's watching it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, the minister of coal was not some fucking just career bureaucrat. He was actually a miner that had worked his way up there. So them portraying him, because they start patting his coat, they did do that in real life. but he was sent to talk to them because he was a minor. They sent him to talk to them because of who he was. And I just thought that was funny because she's just like sitting there trying to give me these little tidbits. And I'm like, I know more than you. I don't care that you've watched the show.
Yeah, with that situation though, like that from the beginning, she should have came clean. Like and then for her to bring these friends in, like that's just weird. You shouldn't bring like exes because that's what they are. As soon as you have relations with them, if you're no longer having relations with them, they're exes. Like even if you weren't dating, like you fucked them, you shouldn't just bring them in and be like, these are my friends. That's so cold.
And she lied.
And dirty.
She lied to you. And now, and unfortunately, when you lie to a spouse, a partner, you can't just be like, even if it's a little lie, it's like, what else have they lied about? Especially if it's something little. If your partner would go through lengths to lie about something little, unfortunately, that's a bad trait because then if something big happens, you're not going to know about it. So as soon as she's like, oh, I'm sorry for wrestling him, like nothing's ever happened between us, will ever happen between us. She's lied because the biggest thing happened between them, and that was a threesome. Yeah. But I think the only way you can get over this is to have sex with the guy. Family Guy.
I think there were some suggestions in the comments. There's a lot of people that were like, body counts don't matter, and like you shouldn't even have to talk about them. Like your history does matter. Like I mean, if you were doing porn before, like you get to make that choice of whether you want to date that person with their history. Like you are not your history, but it is part of who you are. So like all that stuff does come into play. And yes, if you had a good time with that couple right as we were starting a relationship, I should know that as it's going on. Like it shouldn't be mystery.
Technically we don't need to know that if they're not going to be a part of our close friend circle, I don't need to know that.
Yeah, but if they're in your atmosphere, they come to a party. Like that's one of those things where it is kind of sketchy, but for the most part, if that person is in your circle of people that is going to be around a lot, you should know the dynamics between the people that are involved. So yeah, when homie's trying to fucking wrestle with her, like now you know to absolutely kick his ass. Be like, no, she's not gonna fuck around with you anymore, so I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah. See, the problem is this all could have been averted when they got together. Be like, yeah, I had a threesome tryst. Yeah, a little three-way, a little triple threat match with these two over here, so he can decide for himself, like, hey, do I want these people to be part of my close friend group or not? Do I got a booger?
Yeah, other side.
Well, it's going to be a booger episode. Let me get it out. Look, camera's on me. Do I got it?
Now you got to eat it, yeah.
Yeah, nah, I've never been a booger eater. No booger eaters. Tip of my nose hurts so bad.
So you're a flicker sticker?
Amy says that it is a clogged pore, but I'm like, I feel like it's an infection.
Well, luckily with the lighting, you don't see the bottom of your nose.
I don't know what it is. I know if it ain't gone in like a day or two. As long as it stays like this, I'm okay. But as long as it doesn't get any bigger.
So I heard what you do is you just cut off your nose to spite your face.
To spite your face? Cut off your nose to spite her face.
Spider. All right, we ready for the next one?
Yeah, we're ready for the next one.
This is a rambly episode.
Very rambly episode.
Get 2 hours out of us today.
Oldie well.
No promises. My wife baby trapped me. I put baby trap in quotation marks because I'm not sure what she did is the actual definition of baby trap. She didn't have a kid to make me stay, just against my will. So my wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have been together for 8 years. We have a little girl, 5 female, and a baby boy, 2 months. I love both of them more than anything, and I finally feel like I have everything. A beautiful wife, 2 healthy kids, a great career, and a big house. The token, quote, American dream, minus the dog. I'm allergic. When we talked about kids before, my wife always said she wanted 2. I only wanted 1. It would be easier and we'd have more money for vacations and stuff. But my wife maintained it's important for a child to have a sibling. I grew up with 4 and my wife with none, so I guess I understand where she's coming from. After our son and getting through the baby years and sleepless nights for the second time, I didn't want to ever go through with that again. Both kids were very fussy and colicky. But when he was a year old, my wife began casually mentioning a third. I would laugh it off, but finally she sat me down and said, we have to have a third. I said, no, we agreed on 2. But she said she wanted 4 and 3 is the compromise.
You see, if you're a woman, okay, and You don't even have to, if you want another kid, you don't even have to bring it up to the guy. Because like, just go and have sex and then say, I want you to come in this pussy, big daddy. And then he's just gonna be like, oh, okay. Okay. Especially if you're midway through, like what he's probably gonna do it then. And then he's be like, oh fuck, I'm pregnant. Now we gotta take care of a baby. So you don't even have to have the conversation with him. That's what my wife did to me.
Yeah. I mean,
are you denying it? No.
it's an option.
That's right. You don't even have to have because then the guy's gonna be like, fuck, well, I shouldn't have did it. And she told me to do it. And I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't for a split second. And then you did it.
I refused and said I wanted one and we have two. She got angry and called me selfish for taking away her dream of wanting a big family. A couple days later, she apologized and we had sex. I noticed her drive increased exponentially, but so did mine, and I was happy to engage her. She was on birth control. I had a condom. It was all good. Thinking back on it, I probably should have figured something was up, but I was barely handling two little kids and work on top of housework and yard work and everything. I came home from work one day while the kids were at their grandparents'. My wife had a huge smile on her face, and she sat me down and showed me a positive pregnancy test. Literally dancing in joy. My first thought was, oh shit. My wife noticed a less than happy expression on my face. Okay. That's the thing. He didn't want another kid. Him not being happy about having another kid. Like, he will eventually possibly come around. But, like, you can't expect the man to be gleefully happy for the thing that he said he was not going to be.
Yes, this is going to hold our family back more. Yes. This is going to be more financial struggle. Yes.
But yeah, so she started screaming at me. She berated me for not being supportive, and this was a, quote, miracle from God, and I should be grateful. I said I was sorry and hugged her and said I was super excited for the baby. My wife was delighted, and later that night, she was calling all family and friends to happily tell them the news. When she was talking about the nursery and how we'll convert my office into a room, I started to get a little suspicious. Everything was so well thought out, and it seemed like she'd been planning this for a while. When she was asleep, I took the condoms out of the cupboard and ran them underwater. Holes. I nabbed her phone and saw she set a password. That was odd. Nevertheless, my wife has a terrible memory, so I tried her birthday, and it opened. Such a good passcode. Further up were texts with her best friend of my wife complaining how I wouldn't come around. Her best friend suggested arrange an accident, quote unquote.
Oh, now we're getting into you're a terrible person.
Yes, with a winky face. My wife agreed, and she said she was going to come off of birth control. It went on for a little while, ending with my wife saying that yes, we were going to have a third. You don't do that to your partner.
Right.
Like, otherwise you're not partners. Like, you should be somewhat on the same team. He doesn't want one. You do. You shouldn't sabotage it. So I woke her up immediately and asked her if this really had been a, quote, miracle. She got that deer in the headlights look and burst into tears. She wailed, and then she got angry. Through tears, she screamed I had no right to go through her phone, and it's her choice whether or not she wants to take birth control. The side effects it was
her choice to poke those
condom
holes in the condom too.
The birth control, I agree with. Once again, conversation. It's not just like I'm off birth control.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody.
You're a liar, and you're lying to your husband. She also brought up if I really didn't want a third kid, I should have had a vasectomy. Not wrong on that point.
Mike, you got to get around to that.
So then you don't succumb to them. Just come in me, daddy. Wait, what do you say?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm doing it now, fuck.
She also
Grandma.
She told me to go to sleep on the couch. I laughed out loud and said, no, I'm sleeping here. You're leaving. So while wailing, she packed a bag and left to her parents. When she called the next day, I told her I just need some time to myself. She said that's fine, but I need to come around for our child. I told her I wasn't sure if it'd be, quote, our child, and she cried more. You're a shit stain on that part.
Yeah.
You made the baby. Like,
well, I mean,
under false circumstances.
Super against his will, though.
But still, it's your kid. Like, the kid, we were talking about that earlier. Like, the kid is not responsible
At all. Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since then. Government's recommended to stay at home and, this is a COVID one. To stay at home, and I knew staying home by myself while also working with 2 kids would not be ideal, and she wanted to see our kids. So we're in the same house. She constantly keeps on stopping me and trying to get me excited for our kid and planning the nursery and names and how happy our kids will be to get a younger sibling. I've been ignoring her entirely. What do I do? Staying home with her is bad enough, and I don't know if I should leave her over this. I don't trust her anymore. She entirely betrayed it.
The trust. I don't know if I trust her anymore.
Oh, okay.
Terrible way to word it.
That would have been a good one for a comma.
Not a wordsmith, yeah.
Instead of a period, whole new sentence. I'm angry, but I have another child on the way. You're not wrong for being upset. And yes, that is like...
She crazy.
Yeah, you're in the divorce category.
You gonna leave her, and then you gonna come home, and all your kids are gonna be in the living room on the floor, soaking wet, holding hands, because she drowned them all and laid them in a fucking line. And she's like, "Now there's no more kids for us to. Now we could start over and make new kids." And then I don't know, you got a Leonardo DiCaprio killer, and then you're gonna be on an island and playing detectives with other detectives because they're trying to get you to come out of your fucking psychosis. Yeah, and it's just gonna be a big thing. And now I just ruined that movie for everybody, and I'm so sorry.
Well, you didn't say the name of it, so they have no idea what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, I did not say Shutter Island, so just don't. As long as I don't say the name to it, I won't ruin it for you guys.
What, it's like a 30-year-old movie now at this point? So
20, don't say that.
20
yeah, it's like 20 years old.
It's more than 20.
No. It came out late 2000s.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was like early 2000s.
Look, I'm going to pull out I'm going to say Shutter Island came out in 2010.
I'll say 2003.
2003, maybe. I just don't think Mark Ruffalo was a thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my thing on it, with it, is fully she's the asshole, but like absolutely imploding your relationship for it. What is it? I can't.
2010.
Oh, nice.
My brain is fucking. There's sometimes I'll be off by a mile.
How old were you then?
18? About to turn 18.
Okay. So yeah, that would be, for me, like the years from like 2000 till now are just smushed.
A blur. Yeah.
So like if it didn't come out while I was in high school, but like I just assumed that was one of the ones that I watched when I was high school aged. But yeah, no, like my thing is you don't have to like I'm not saying you have to stay, but you do have 2 other kids. She's trapping you with this third. I think it's a good time that's when counseling comes in. Like she isn't doing it to be malicious. She wants a third kid. You're telling her no. Like you guys should have had that conversation, and you should have went and got a vasectomy. Like that should have been off the table. If you wanted to stop at 2, you said 1, she got you to 2. That's when you get the vasectomy, so that you can't fucking change that. And then if you do want to change it, it's a whole procedure and you are in control of it. But like, I don't think it's make the kids have 2 separate homes in that instant. Like you could work through it.
If everything else in your relationship is fine, and that is a super betrayal of trust thing,
huge.
poking holes in condoms. But I mean, if you love her and you're like, hey, look, I mean, this isn't something, she didn't go out and get pregnant by another guy, so.
Well, and she 100%, like when she is wanting that much sex, like that's when you should have been suspicious and being like, okay, we haven't been, you want a third baby, and now we are. Like, you're kind of an idiot for not seeing the writing on the wall for that. Like,
why is she wanting to just jump on this thing more so now than ever? And you tell her too, you better keep that same energy that you had.
Keep it up.
Before you before you trap me with this baby. Now, this one, we're going to do, usually we do like the update and everything before then, but we're going to get through this first part, okay? And then we'll do the update.
See, I just wanted to comment on that. Like, while the story's going on, I think we should have a little bit more interjections. We don't just plow straight on through the story.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
We have a little discussions when there's good moments.
I absolutely agree. And this one does have a good moment before the update, okay? Wife had been flirting with her coworker. She said she would stop, but it just happened again. Is there any future in this relationship? Remember that title, okay? My wife and I have been married for slightly more than 3 years now. Last Christmas, I found out she had a long conversation with a coworker of hers in which they talked about having sex multiple times and that they couldn't wait for the next one. The guy said he was going to book a hotel near their office right after Christmas. In this conversation, when he said he was looking forward to seeing my wife, she would reply with things like, "I'm looking forward to much more than seeing you," etc. You get the idea. Overly flirty and sexual.
What in the actual fuck?
Let me continue, brother. I just got to get through this first part, and then we can really dive into this. What's wrong with this guy? When I confronted my wife, she denied the conversation existed. After deleting it, she showed me her phone to prove it didn't exist, but I had taken a few pictures. She then said it was all virtual and that they never did anything physical. To prove she was right, she messaged her coworker in front of me, asking if he had booked the hotel. He replied, "Not yet." She then asked if he was really expecting them to meet, to which he replied negatively. She promised they would never talk again, and I agreed, simply because I loved her a lot and wanted to trust her. But in my mind, I wasn't completely sure she had been honest. Dylan has his hands over his face for people who are listening. For a few weeks, I must admit, I checked her phone a few too many times, so she changed her password, to which I was fine with because I was probably being too paranoid. This week, I picked up her phone because I needed a code that had been sent to her phone. I didn't even need to unlock the screen to get it. To my surprise, under the messages with the code, there were other messages from the same guy. One of them was an audio. The second one was a shirtless photo of him in front of a mirror. And the third one said, "sweaty," and a few emojis with a tongue. I confronted her since she had promised they wouldn't talk ever again, and he just wanted to show her that he's going to the gym to show progress, but that was the rest of the times they talked. It's just about work and that this was just a coincidence. I asked her to show me the rest of their messages, but she said she had mistakenly deleted their conversation history. My wife said she is going to change this time and that I never really forgave her, and that's why she kept talking to the guy. She said this time she's really going to stop, but I have a hard time believing it. Or even if she does stop, I fear when things don't go so well between us, she'll do it again. I really love her, but I can't keep living like this. Is there any situation in which this can work? What would you do? ?
What a fucking idiot.
That man loves that woman. I guess. I don't know what. He's dumb.
Has to be. Like, the second time I find, like, not going through my wife's phone, but if somehow I find messages at all, like, slightly suggestive, we're having a talk. If I find fucking sex, blah, 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 like the last time, we're done. Like,
It's over.
There's no coming back at that point. And like, there's not even hey, let's talk about it. It's like, let's talk about what we do with the kids. Cause like, we're not together anymore. We're done at like this moment.
I love how they were talking about having sex and how they're going to have more sex. And he's just like, just the overly flirty messages. No, they're fucking. That's it. They're fucking. He is beating that pussy down already. Has already done it multiple times. You've had the proof, and all she had to do was say, "Oh, I deleted them," or no, they didn't exist. She deleted them. Told you they didn't exist.
That it was virtual fucking. Like, I'm sorry, my wife is virtually fucking somebody. We're done.
Yeah, we're virtually done, bitch. Like, it's over. Now,
it's got to be satire. Jesus Christ.
There's an update. This is a tough pill to swallow. I can't say I hadn't been warned. This is my previous post. Many folks asked me to follow up with an update, so here it is, fresh from the oven. After reading every single comment of the Reddit post, my brain just couldn't overcome the catastrophe and the collapse of the world I had built for me, in which my wife is my love, my best friend and partner, as well as the person I admire the most. She was entirely perfect and made me happy for many years. I thought no couple in the world could have what we had. We were both very happy for a very long time. We were both attractive. We were both inherently good, had big hearts, and were individually wildly successful in our careers. After the Reddit post, I moved to an Airbnb and eventually with family to think this through. It was a terrible time, but a psychologist helped me recover from a terrible mental state. It coincided with the pandemic hitting very hard in my city. During this time, we kept talking, and my wife was very sorry and continued saying that they hadn't met. I knew it wasn't true, but I was willing to forgive the woman of my dreams who continued being in the highest altar of my universe.
What?
Fast forward to last Saturday morning, I went back to our place, ready to forgive her and talk things through in the most mature way possible. And well, there she was, but I was the one who received the biggest surprise, to say the least. The guy was in my house naked, and so was my wife. The guy from the messages, the guy from the pics. The one she said she didn't even like. I caught him hiding in my bathroom as my wife was putting her pajamas on. When I saw him hiding in the bathroom, he uttered, "Sorry, dude."
So is he writing this from a jail cell?
No, just writing this from a Reddit. I'm half-assed to think he's going to be like, they said they didn't have sex.
Can I just watch you?
Yeah. She said they didn't have sex, so I kind of believe her. For a second, I asked myself, is this where I kill him? But I instantly replied, I got nothing against you, because the guy was just nailing this hot woman. Even if he was doing it in a house full of pictures of me, pictures of our wedding and our families, pictures of my dead father who would be so sad to see how the marriage he never witnessed was going to end. He's watching. He's watching from above.
He's sad that you are not taking any sort of action.
He raised a bitch, because honestly, if you landed a hot, successful woman, you're probably a good-looking guy. You're just a little dumb. All right, you're dumb. Probably got a hog on you because you're so dumb. But God, he has always been the reason I try to make the world a better place. He passed away 2 months before our wedding. I'm sorry, I still love her to death, but I understand enough is enough. Even if my world collapses, I hope I can build a new one without lies, in which I'm not just a blind believer under the altar of a fake God.
How? How do you do that?
I don't know. It's like, you get the messages, but then what really just ended it, because he was ready to,
Yeah, he went back over there and like, I don't get it.
I don't know. I think in that moment you kill, though. You just do it.
At least maim.
Yeah, maim. Yeah. If she's pretty, make sure she's not pretty no more. God, do something. Give us Reddit readers like, let us be like, whoa, you went too far, bud. But in our minds, be like, nice.
I mean, I could see why you did it.
I could see why you did that. A little overboard. Nobody said, acid to the face. That's kind of crazy. That's fucked. But I mean,
if you have some,
yeah, if you had some on you, if you just came from
nobody
the
can
acid,
blame you.
Yeah, if you had a cup of acid in your hand because you just came from the acid factory, and then you just a little bit on the face,
thought it was water,
right? Just thought, yeah, whoopsie. That's what I'm saying. Like if you just like walked into the bathroom and then had a pair of scissors in your hands and actually snipped off his dick, fell forward, snipped off his penis, like who could blame you? Nobody. Flushed it down the toilet. That's a little fucked, but
would it be worse? Well, yeah, obviously. Like it'd be terrible anyway. But like, would it be worse to just get the tip cut off or like all the way at the base?
The whole thing, man. Doctors cannot reconstruct a penis to save their lives. I guess. I don't know. I know they put an air balloon in it.
What happened with old Bobbit? End of the story. She cut it off and they put it back on. Didn't he do porn after that?
I guess.
That was the tale of the playground when we were kids.
But you had to, you got to pump it up.
Oh.
I don't know how much sensation is there.
Yeah, you can't reattach like nerves and shit, can you?
Right now. So I don't know how much sensation's there. I don't know if it's just like I don't know.
What the fuck?
But I think for the viewers, I will look into it. I'll try to get a balloon put into mine. We'll see how far it goes.
I mean, that'd probably put you up to what?
At least 3 or 4 inches, yeah.
It's add some girth to it.
Yeah, as long as it's like a 3 or 4 inch balloon, yeah.
All right, so this is a 2D JB submission.
A viewer loves us so much that they submitted something?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if these viewers love us so much that they would check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/Mike and Dylan. Get bonus episodes, guys. LaborLama is running a deal.
Sale.
25% off if you use the special code 2DJB.
Yep. It is going to run until we just decide to shut it off.
Probably forever.
We're just going to let it ride and hope that you get your shirts, hoodies, hats, and stickers at a 25% discount.
It's LaborLama.com, LaborLama.com.
So this title is, Was My Boyfriend an Asshole for Traumatizing Our Friend?
Probably.
Hello. I want to start letting you know that English is not my first language. Oh, I did not read that. I did not process that when I printed this one out. I apologize in advance for any grammar errors. I'm an enthusiastic crime podcast listener, but I as everyone else, I can't only listen to that or I would kill myself. So in between, I listen to different podcasts. My go-to ones are news. But with the situation our country is in now, I would probably kill myself faster. We understand.
We feel you. We got you.
In our soul.
Yeah.
Then, one day, the gods of the algorithm presented me with your podcast. The name intrigued me. Who doesn't like to judge people who we don't know, in situations we've never been in? I got shocked. Seriously, you guys are so funny. Well, Mike is. And then
this is why we're reading your submission low key. It's all the nice stuff.
From a crime podcast listener to a trash baby trailer park.
We'll probably be involved in crimes later on in our life, so it kind of fits.
All right, so because you always ask for submissions, I started to think about stories I could tell, and out of nowhere, I remembered one that was the bomb. Let's start saying that this happened many, many years ago. At the time, I, 19 female, and my boyfriend, 19 male, had a group of good friends. We all lived in the same gated neighborhood. They were a little older. Male 24, male 26, and male 25.
Damn, girl, you behind enemy lines.
Yes, I was the only girl. What do you mean?
Being there with a bunch of dudes?
That's what happens is one guy has a girl and then the rest of the guys are just single. So
yeah, I would never look at bro's girl like that.
Just waiting in the wings for you guys to break up.
Like, why are you looking at her like a pack animal, though?
No, I'm the nice friend that was always nice to her through your whole relationship. Yeah, he's an asshole.
Right.
I would never do that to you.
Right, yeah.
All right. Yes, I was the only girl, but besides my boyfriend, they all treated me as a little sister. They still do. I need to say that hanging out with guys really helps you understand the other sex. Men are freaking simple. They can't do two things at the same time and usually think the same way.
Really? Because I can masturbate and hold the phone in my hand, so...
Been doing it for years.
Yeah, two things right there.
And even skipping ads and shit.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
While I'm on page 191 looking for the video that I liked so much last time.
One of our friends, let's call him Jake, male 26, had a longtime girlfriend that had broken up with him a couple of years before and broke his heart.
Oh.
He was devastated and couldn't understand why. He was about to propose and everything. Well, to make the story short, one day my boyfriend called me and told me to go to his house at that moment. It wasn't anything new. I didn't get along with my stepdad and loved his parents, so we mostly hung out at his place. I got there and our friends were already there. We all were in his room when he said he wanted us to watch a movie. We all agreed and got comfortable. Then the movie started. By the music in the first scene, a pizza delivery guy.
Bounce. Ow, ow.
I knew it was a porno. I got up and said, "I'm out. Not doing that with you weirdos." Yeah. But like,
yeah,
boyfriend and then a bunch of other guys hanging out with your
just
girlfriend.
be like, "Oh God, what do you got planned, dude?" Like, this is what I wanted all along, a gangbang I want to watch. Put me in the corner and tie me up.
This is just for inspiration. My boyfriend pulled me down and told me it would be okay and worth my while. I trusted him and thought I could always leave, so he hit play again. The delivery guy knocked at the door, and a woman dressed in underwear opened at the door. The moment she did, my boyfriend paused the movie, and Jake started screaming, "No! No!
No!"
That was the moment I realized the woman in the movie was his ex-girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, the boys were laughing so hard that they had tears in their eyes. It was really funny to us, but my poor friend never recovered. I thought you guys would love to hear that. Keep being yourselves. That's the reason I listen.
Fuck. Like, because you know he's just going to be like, he's going to hit play. He's like, no, maybe he's not. And then it's just fucking thigh slapper comes out. And he's like, no.
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, he was going to propose and, like, legit marry that girl. And then she's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go do porn. You were not enough to keep her locked down.
We had a kid at the box shop. He started talking to this girl and he was like, yeah, but she does porn. And he's like, I'm going to go down to Florida. I'm going to move down to Florida to be with her. So he had put a 2-week notice in at the box shop. I was like, that's a big leap for a porn star. You know what I'm saying? It might not. I mean, good on you, dog, for being able to look past all that stuff. Cool. He goes down to Florida and I think he was gone maybe 6 days and he had came back. And I was like, what happened? And he was just like, I didn't think that it would affect me that much. And then I was like, well, let me look at one of the videos. And I watched one of the videos and I couldn't do it. So I'm back here.
Couldn't have done that before you left for.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I guess he was strong enough and then he became less strong.
I just want you to sit in this chair while I film this scene. The camera will pan over to you a little bit here and there.
Another thing too, though, is like every guy there was like, well, what porn star is it? Because we might have come across her. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just to do a little research to understand your situation better.
Right. We want to see how bad it is because there's porn stars. There's like, there's ones that's been in gangbangs. And then there's just, like an OnlyFans type thing. I don't think OnlyFans was out or prevalent at this point.
Yeah.
And he specifically used the words porn star. He was a young guy, though.
Couldn't be me.
He was a young guy, though, so fuck it. Maybe he was trying to get into that world. Maybe that was his end. They could start shooting videos together. I don't know. But I know that he watched a couple videos and he was just like, I'm coming back home to North Carolina.
You had to travel to Florida to be able to pull that trick off.
It was a nepotism case, too, because he was related to one of the supervisors. And then his parents were like real by the gospel type people. So they were very upset that he was leaving to Florida to
bang a porn star.
Yeah, being a porn star. Which I'm saying, man, if you got that much.
Was he going down there to become a porn star himself?
No, he was just going down there for her. Like he was going to go live with her down in Florida. Which, I mean, I guess is better than High Point, North Carolina. Any part in Florida is, even if you got to live with a porn star.
I mean, Florida's like the trash can of the United States.
Yeah, but there's fun things to do, and there's babes down there. I'm talking about, he's like 19 years old. As a 19-year-old, yeah, that's a good place to be. At 19, ain't got nothing to do, ain't got no responsibilities, go down to Florida. Live a little.
Do some math.
And then you fuck up by looking her up. And then you were like, I didn't know they could get stretched that far. Fuck. No.
Yeah, there was only one girl that I knew that was on porn sites, but she was not on porn sites by her own volition. Her boyfriend.
That's sad.
Her.
Yeah.
And she spent this was like while I was talking to her, and she literally had to keep hitting all these porn sites and saying, hey, take that down. I do not give my consent. And it should not be that hard.
No,
You should be able to take that down. And with the ability of like all these platforms, like
he should go straight to jail.
Yes, he should. But like YouTube and all these other things, they can tell when something's the same thing. It should be very easy for you to completely erase that from the interwebs.
I don't think porn sites are the most...
They are not.
Upstanding people.
They actually will specifically like redo them to keep making money off of them, but then have them on their website still.
My girlfriend, 21 female of 18 months, asked my 22 male preference about her pubic hair and now finds me revolting.
What?
So yeah. So yesterday, my girlfriend casually asked me how I prefer pubic hair to be groomed. She usually keeps hers short but neat. I assumed she was just looking to change things and wanted my opinion. So I answered honestly, and I said I find completely shaven to be attractive. But in the grand scheme of things, couldn't care less. It's not a turnoff if there's hair, and that I like the way she has it now. Well, it turns out she had a lecture today at college. She studies psychology, and the topic was on pedophiles. Apparently, one of the talking points was that pedophiles are attracted to the lack of body hair. She then told me this. I asked her, are you seriously calling me a pedophile because I find completely shaven attractive? Can I just point out that you're 21 and not 12? She basically skirted around my question, then stormed out of my apartment when I kept pressing her on it. As she left, she called me revolting and now is ignoring my calls and texts. What the fuck? Honestly, not even sure where to go from here. We've never had any issues and was planning on I was planning proposing to her the next year. Where has this even come from? This is a blessing by God to show you don't need to propose to her.
You got saved.
Yeah.
Right there. Like that was a miracle.
Divine intervention. Divine intervention was like, I'm going to have this psychologist. And then that's where we want to paint, like, guys are more likely to sexually assault somebody. They're more likely to be aggressive, not just sexually, just in life. I say, if you are a woman, have a hesitation about guys. New guys you meet, have a healthy hesitation. Do not meet a guy and then immediately go somewhere secluded. Like, don't meet a guy and immediately trust him. I will say that. Then you take that shit too far, and then you get the documentaries of are all men pedophiles. Then you get psychologists going around and being like, well, if he doesn't like hair on your body, that means he's a pedophile. Me, I don't give a fuck. I like a hairy pussy and butthole. I don't care. All right. I have never seen hair on a woman's butthole and was like, ew, yucky. It just feels like it's always been, you know what I'm saying?
See,
a little thing to tickle my tongue while I'm trying to tickle her butthole.
When I was like 15, I tried to convince the girls that I was with, like, maybe we just could. But like also at that time, like they didn't even give it a buzz cut or any like. And so for me being that age and that at that time, it was like the shaving craze. And so, but then once I actually got comfortable with myself for sexuality, like I couldn't care less. Like,
I wasn't doing it.
It could be long. It could be, any. And yeah, I was not terrified if there's hair around a butthole. Like I wasn't like, ooh, gross. No, that's okay. Like, let's play. There was no reservation, but like I had to be confident in myself and like what I was expecting, because as a young person just getting into it, like you don't know what to expect. And so all you see is shaved pussies and waxed buttholes and all that stuff. That's what you see in porn. So that's what you expect in real life. And then you get to real life and you're like, wait a second. I don't care. Like hair, style it, don't style it, fucking long, short. I could not care less.
I shaved my pubes one time. I mean, like off, completely gone. And the next day I was like, whoa, this is fucking uncomfortable and fucking stabby as fuck. And then I was like, I don't care if, cause I'm not doing it. Like I'd trim them down.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm trimming them down a little bit. I'll never shave them. So I completely understood. Like if a woman, but you're right. During that time, it was like, that was the thing.
Yes.
Was shaving it all the way gone or the landing strip.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I have never seen pussy hair that I was just like, nope, not for me.
Well, and like in the first forays into eating pussy, like you're like pulling them out. Now I could not care less.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm not even going to stop to like pull the hair out. Like,
and then you have a girl that like shaved the day before and your fucking nose is getting fucking grated by sandpaper. Yeah. The whole time you're just like fucking, it's rubbing my nose skin off. Who just read?
Yeah, you did because of the guy.
No, you just read the porn one. That's why we're on to this, right? No, I just read the pedophile one.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah, but that was a blessing by God to come in and say, hey, I know you're thinking about proposing. And it's any God you pick, okay? There's 3,000 of them. You just pick whichever God, divine, intervented, okay? Not talking shit about your religion. I'm saying it could be specifically yours. One out of 3,000 that...
It was yours, actually.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Whoever's listening to this, it was your God. That divine intervented and said, hey, I put the psychologist in her life so she'll come back and be completely crazy, say some outlandish shit, and then storm off. And then now you can go find somebody who's not like that.
Like, that's the weird thing with what that was talking about, though. Like, if it's a cultural thing that has been created through porn and all this other stuff, you can't then classify everybody as a certain thing because they are influenced by that. Like, because I was influenced, and it wasn't because I liked younger girls. It was because that was the culture. That was what, and like girls were influenced by that culture. That's why a lot of girls shaved and everything. So you can't just blanket it out there like, oh, if you don't like hair on a vagina, you're a pedophile.
Well, I had a therapist tell me, because I, not so willingly, I'm not going to say against my will. I'm not going to say it was like rape. Well, I mean, it was because I was younger. But me having sex with, an older woman when I was younger, that could have had like an effect on why I liked older women. And I was like, really, dog? Because I feel like even if that had not transpired, I'd be loving some MILFs. So
yeah, I never had that happen to me, and
right, yeah, I think I would still be like kind of in this boat of liking older women.
Which also, though, you did have like American Pie influence in us too, talking about MILFs.
Yeah.
So like there was
that could have been that too. Yeah.
I'm gonna sue them now.
Right.
It's their fault.
Correct.
That I had some crazy.
It was American Pie's fault, and that's why I like to stick trumpets in my pussy.
There's still one. Or is that?
Is that it?
Well, it is.
That is. God.
Oh, we're only at an hour right now.
Oh, okay, good. At least we're deep into it. I was like, fuck, we're like 20 minutes into this episode. They fly by, dude. we start reading the stories, I'm into the drama as much. I love a good story. Guys, listen. If you're on Reddit and you come across a really juicy story, just share that shit to the M-ADHD subreddit. By the way, Trinity, we are really sorry for you looking up M-ADHD, because she was like, I looked up the M-ADHD subreddit. We love Trinity, by the way. If you, we read a lot of stuff that people send us. I might not respond to it, okay, because I don't know how to respond on Patreon, but I'll be reading them, okay? Trinity says some very sweet things. Love you so much. We are, unfortunately, she tried to look up the subreddit. When she looked it up, it was just a video of a guy masturbating. I do want to go on the record and say there's none of that on our subreddit. So you did have the incorrect one, and I apologize.
Well, yeah, it's just r/MADHD. So you have to go to communities, not posts about MADHD.
Yes, don't go, because we don't know who's beating off in them. But you'll just look up something innocuous on Reddit, and it'll be someone spreading their butthole. You have to turn safe search on, or it's just like, how is this most relevant? How is someone shooting a banana out of their asshole most relevant?
Well, that was what you searched for, so.
No, I searched banana coming out of the vagina, not a asshole with some balls dangling down. That's not what I'm attracted to.
Well, it was a pussy. All right. My 33 male wife, 32 female, said her ex's name while we were having sex.
So I've actually had this happen to me, not to me, but I had this happen in a household where we were roommating with other people. They were making love, and then they're getting into an argument. So my wife's out there, she's friends with them, and everybody's talking, and I just walk out there, and it's not even like an argument. It's just kind of like the other one's like, I see how that can happen. It's not a big deal. And the other one's apologizing. And I guess it was like heated at first, but then like the situation calmed down. And it's lesbians, okay? It's lesbians. So what happened was the lesbian had said the name of her ex while having sex with her. But the lesbian's ex was a dude.
Yeah.
Like if my wife had said like an ex's name and it was a girl, I'd be like, nah, it's kind of different. I'd have just kept going. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't saying a dude's name, I mean, we're all right here.
Well, and I think they're like, I mean, I guess it depends on at which point in the relationship. The later it gets into the relationship, it gets kind of sketchier. Like, why are you still thinking about them?
Right. If I just started hanging out with this girl, she got out of a really bad relationship, sure.
Yeah.
We can have fuck-ups. Yeah, we could have whoopsies. What's so funny too is when Amy left me because I kept doing drugs, and you know, she's pregnant with my daughter at this point. Or I mean, we're married. So, you know, she got pregnant, we got married. Like it was that 2 months. We were husband and wife. That's crazy to think about. But then she's like, you know, I'm not going to have you raising my child. So I started seeing this other girl, and I would not stop calling her Amy. The poor girl was just like so happy to be hanging around me, so happy to be there. And I just kept saying, I'm like, force a habit, man, force a habit. Like I could not quit saying her name. And then finally it was like 10 hours into the day where I was just like, I just think I fucking miss her, man. I think I miss her. I was all fucked up.
Then you went back.
Fuck yeah, I did. I was like, I'm going to make this right. I'm going to become a man.
I'm going to make this easier for you to cut up, and I'm going to read the title again. My 33 male wife, 32 female, said her ex's name while we were having sex. My wife and I have been married for 4 years, and we have a 2-year-old. We dated on and off for 3 years before getting married. Last night, she says her ex's name while we are having sex. She gave some weird excuse as to why. She said it's a common name. It is a very common name. And
okay, but don't be saying that during sex. Like, I'm not going to be sitting there having sex with my wife and just be like, Ashley. Why'd you say Ashley? It's a common name. I was thinking of common names.
I was doing a game in my head while we were doing this to try and distract me from how great this pussy is.
Right. If I ever said mama during that, then yeah, like I'm fighting for my life right here.
All right. It is a very common name and must have heard it recently. I wasn't going to start a big argument with her at the time. It has since gotten me worried about why she did that.
Because she was thinking about her ex while you was doing it.
Yeah, and so they've been married for 4 years and on and off for 3 years. The on and off part, just don't get married.
Right, yeah.
Just don't get married.
There's your sign. It's on and off.
For some background, this was a guy she was with for a couple years before I met her. They met in college and were serious for some time. They had broken up when I met her and decided they were better as friends. They were friends for years before they dated. We started dating, but he remained in the picture. He was her best friend first and foremost, and I grudgingly went along with it for her. Several months passed, and I put my foot down, saying it's too uncomfortable for me. There was some resistance, but she steps back from him.
That's why y'all was on and off. She'd be like, I ain't gonna fuck.
She was on.
Yeah,
and
she
off
would
and-
fuck him, and while she broke up with you, and then
Oh, yeah. Every time we broke up, she was with him. We finally reconciled and got engaged. Why, dude?
yeah, I don't even. Why post this on Reddit? Why do you need advice at this point? I mean,
You shouldn't have had the 2-year-old. Like that's you're getting married. You fucked up. But like the fact that no, you fucked up by getting married, and then now you guys brought a kid into this. You fucked up big time, bud. He apparently didn't know this and stopped talking to her. She was devastated, which should have been a red flag. Yes.
wait, why did he stop talking to her?
We finally reconciled and got engaged. He apparently didn't know this and stops talking to her. She was devastated, which should have been a red flag. We talked about it, and she was happy to have chosen me. Now, after this has happened, I'm tempted to see if she's gotten back in contact with him again.
Obviously.
I know she's checked in on his social media because I saw the searches on the laptop. She doesn't know I know that. I don't think she'd cheat, but this guy was always different for her. Do I just confront her? Do I start going through her phone? Or am I being paranoid?
Yeah, it was always different for her. You were very good emotionally. He was very good at making her toes curl.
He was like her first love. And there's just like, she's not let go of that.
Right.
She hasn't, when you guys met, he was still there in the wings, and she never let go of that like first initial serious relationship love. And the on again, off again. I don't
There's
get why
just
people-
so many moments where we could have just gotten before we had to make this Reddit post where, I don't know.
now
I guess
there's,
you got to deal with it now, buddy.
now there's a kid involved.
Yeah. Now it's all
Poor
difficult.
kid.
Now it costs money to break up with her. So sorry. God, this is my favorite story, by the way. I'm so glad I get the favorite story, and I'm so glad it's the last one because, listen, it should not be my favorite. In every single situation, this guy is a hero, and he did the right thing. But fuck, it sucks, okay? It sucks so bad for this guy. My 26 male girlfriend, 25 female, has grown distant after I got beat up defending a group of girls being harassed.
She got jelly.
No, she didn't get jelly.
He got beat up trying to defend girls.
Yeah. Oh, this dude gets waffle stomped by. Here, I'm just going to read it to you. Mandatory. I have been with my girlfriend Sarah for 3 years, and we have been living together for 1.5. She is honestly everything I have ever wanted, and I plan on proposing somewhere next year. So 3 weeks ago, I was out with Sarah at a local bar drinking and having a great time with her, as it was just after quarantine had ended where I live. Around 3 a.m., we decided to head home. As we were heading to the parking lot, we had parked. Where we had parked, we had noticed a group of 2 girls and a guy who was clearly drunk trying to hit on them and trying to get them to go to his house. The girls were clearly very uncomfortable and trying to find a way out. Sarah told me we had to do something, and I told her to go call the cops and get someone as well, because at the very least I wanted was her to get hurt during this. So I approached the group and tried to pretend I was the boyfriend of one of the 2 girls, and long story short, I got my ass kicked. The guy was at least 6'4" and 220 pounds, where I'm 5'11" and 167 pounds. I'm fairly muscular myself, but there was no way I could have taken someone that big. I knew it from the start. At least from all the noise we had made, a lot of people rushed to the scene and got the girls safely away. I was rushed to the ER because the motherfucker had broken my ribs, which had punctured my right lung. Yay. So he got fucked up. Like, he was just like, hey, babe, is this guy bothering you? Maybe you should go on somewhere. But he's like, really? Oh, fuck. Oh. The other guy's just like getting punched. Don't even know where the punches are coming from. He's getting his ass whooped.
Now you fucked up.
Yeah, now you fucked up.
You
And-
fucked up now.
There's a thing too, man, is like, you can help the 2 girls out without trying to act tough, or, you could have waited for help to arrive to help these 2 girls out. Because at the moment, he's just trying to get them to go with him. You know what I'm saying? You could have waited for assistance. I think you going in alone, especially if you look at somebody's size
Well, and as long as they're not like being violently treated during that time, like you don't have to go in and try to be a tough guy. If he's just being offensive, like if he's just using words, as long as he's not dragging them around, that's when you go ahead and, pick violence as the solution.
Right.
You don't go in as a tough guy.
Yeah, you don't go in as a white knight, okay? Especially if you look at him and you say, I cannot take this guy. Because that immediately in your mindset, I'm sorry. If I see a drunk man, that drunk man could be 6'8", 300 pounds of solid shit brick house. If he's drunk, I'm beating his ass. I'm punching him in the dick. I'm biting his nutsack. Like, I know how to handle myself in that situation. Right. If there's two really drunk big guys, then I'm going to be like, yeah, I need some help to arrive, because then I know, the situation is out of my hands.
Well, and if you're that guy, seeing that he's a much bigger guy, you don't go in. You should be aware. Like, you should be the one with situational awareness of what's like. Don't put yourself close by the guy where he can even get a hold of you. Like,
right. I mean, 5'11", 167 pounds. You should have just, stayed back, hung back a little bit, wait for help to arrive, and then,
do like you did when the pit bull came after you. Just jump on top of a car.
Fuck yeah. I kicked that motherfucker in the chest and realized I was not in a fight I was going to win, and immediately made my exit. After that incident, Sarah has grown distant from me. Even though she visited me and stayed with me at the hospital, she hasn't been the same since. And I thought she just needed time to move past this. However, 5 days ago, she told me she is not the same person after what happened. She doesn't know if she feels safe with me after I got beat up like that. Honestly, that hurt me more than when I got my ribs broke. She has moved to her parents for the time being, and she told me she needs time. Meanwhile, I had no one here to help me, so my brother left his 2 boys and wife to move in with me. I know I'm just venting at this point, but I don't want this to be over like that. Reddit, is there anything I can do to salvage this situation?
Bitch, you told me to do that. You told me. Like, you said we had to intervene. You told me to go into this situation.
Yeah, you said we had to do something. I tried to do something. I got fucking pummeled by this guy, by this fucking just...
Where were you? Where the fuck were you?
You weren't taking them uppercuts. I was taking them uppercuts.
This was your idea.
I don't know. Because in one hand, here's the thing. A woman does want to feel safe around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all are going out to dinner, okay, and a group of guys are approaching, and she's like, fuck, I'm going to have to fight these dudes so my man can get away safely. She's going to have a little reserve about that. On the same hand, it's not about how he can defend you, because easily to make the situation, all he has to do is go get a gun. Guns have been making people the same size since, 1800s. Don't matter how big you are, a couple bullets to the belly and you're on the same level I'm at, okay? Doesn't matter how tall you are. You can be fucking 7 foot tall. When you down on your knees holding your belly, you're the same height as me. That's it. That's all you got to do if you want to feel safe with your man. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I saw a big dude harassing some women, I'm going to intervene. If I see a 5'11", 160-pound guy with a gun in his hands, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant to intervene. That's all I'm saying. Now, you're the biggest guy in the world to me. So there's an update. Until yesterday, it had been 14 days since my last contact with Sarah. My brother had left 4 days prior because I felt bad keeping him away from his family so long. Plus, I could take care of myself to some extent. You just got your ribs broke, pimp. You okay. So around 2 p.m. while I was making lunch, I hear the doorbell ring.
Well, he had a punctured lung too, didn't he?
Yeah, I've never had a punctured lung. So I've gotten fucked up before. I've been jumped by many of people. And I've lost one-on-one fights to where I was like, man, that was a bad look. All right. I ain't never been like, yeah, come help me. Nah, I'm fucking help myself. I'm hobble around, you know what I'm saying? I had to walk from the fucking Cricket up on South Main Street to High Point all the way to East Green after getting jumped, getting my ass whooped with a little cricket bag in my hand, just fucking hobbling.
They didn't get your cricket bag then.
No, they didn't. So I was victorious that day. And guess what? This is Mike too, because Mike's a dumbass. Mike is a bona fide dumbass. When I was walking home and I saw that same group of people, I'd be flipping them off, be like, "Hey, I guess who's still standing, bitch?" And as they walked up, as they walked up, I'd have probably stuffed that cricket phone in my pants and just ducked my head down and was like, "This is gonna hurt." I hear a knock at the door. I open up the door and there she is, Sarah, with tears in her eyes bagged eye bags, frizzy hair, looking like a total mess. During the time we've been together, I've seen her ups and downs, but I've never seen her in such horrible state before. I let her sit on the couch. We still hadn't said words as we were both dumbfounded. I was so overwhelmed by emotions. I wanted to hug her. I wanted to full on blast on her. I don't know what that means. Like he wanted to just start rocking. I thought he just wanted to rock her shit. Like, I don't know. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So I did nothing and waited for her to talk. After 5 or 10 minutes of silence, she started sobbing, saying she was sorry, and then full on crying. At this point, I could barely hold myself together, so I hold her hand and try to calm her down so I could figure out what is going on. After a while, she finally somewhat calms down and starts talking, and that's where it got bad. Something I didn't include in the original post because it wouldn't make sense to anyways is that Sarah's mother had been divorced and remarried once. From what Sarah has told me, her biological father cheated on her mother while she was still a kid, and that's why they broke up. And that's also why she doesn't have any kind of relationship with her father. It seemed odd when I first learned about it, but I didn't question it. It's not the whole story, though. Sarah's biological father didn't only cheat on her mother, he was a drug addict piece of shit that also used to beat up on her frequently. Without getting into a lot of graphic detail, in one instance, when Sarah's brother tried to intervene and protect her mother, he ended up getting beat up too. That happens to all of us, dog. You getting a fucking, that's the problem with Sarah too, is like these dudes are intervening, like, hey, don't beat up on my mama, getting our ass whooped. And then she's like, I have the, bitch, we're the one getting the punches.
And you're the one telling us to go do it.
You don't know what it's like when you're 11 years old and you try to stand up to this motherfucker trying to fucking abuse everybody. And then you just get your ass whooped. And you're like, fuck, a couple more years. That's all I got to do is wait a couple more years. I'm going to be able to beat him up. And I think Dylan hates it that I don't have that really good beat up story where I just like fucking dog walked his ass.
What, me?
Yeah, because you had asked me that one day. He was like, but didn't you like fucking just like tear his shit up? And I was like, nah, man, I just pushed him. And, you know, when he smacked me across the chest with that belt and thought he was going to do something, and I was just like, yeah, you feel big, big man. And just seeing him just like shrink up in the presence of a fucking someone who was more man than him at fucking 16 years old. That was good enough for me. And then I pushed him and he, you know, that was good. I didn't have to just like beat him up. Also too, I still had that. I don't want to, I talk about how bad I still loved him, you know, because he was my stepdad. He was there. He was all I had. It wasn't just like only hate in my heart for him. There was a lot of hate, but it was still like I had that family brainwashing going on. And I don't want to put my hands on family members. Like putting my hands on people on family members was the hardest thing that I had to do. Like the hardest mental hurdle I ever, you know, my brother, I didn't put hands on him until he yelled at my wife. And once he yelled at my wife, it was like, that was the thing that broke that link, that familial bond for me to punch him. So it was just really hard. But I do look back on that time really cool because he fucking took that belt off, man, and just right across fucking the whole chest. Like I was just going to, and I just looked at him like, you feel good about that? And that's when I knew things had changed. And at that point, I was like, we have not talked much since. I did live with him for a brief period of time once. Him and my stepmom, they had got together. And I mean, things were way better then. I don't know why. I guess because I was an adult and he couldn't. My stepmom, oh my God, don't come in at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning like fucking drunk and knocking shit over and fucking partying and stop bringing whores over and shit like that. She would say that, but he would always just be like, oh, just let him live. Just let him live. And I was like, that's crazy. We living now. Mikey done got kind of big, didn't he, boy? Yeah. Mikey same size as you now. But he also got diabetes and became a skeleton. So
Diabetes.
And if you're on Medicare, Liberty Mutual can help you live a better life. So when she saw me intervening and getting my ass kicked in the bar, it triggered some kind of PTSD in her head that she could not control. That's why she had grown distant and eventually left. It all spiraled out of control. She could not handle it. She had to go have sex with the guy that beat me up. That is not. I made that part up. I'm sorry.
And
guys.
Now they have a kid that is up for adoption, and I want him to.
Now they have a kid together, and that child has also beat me up.
And the inheritance that you're going to give him, he has to split it 50-50.
In those 2 weeks we had been apart, she had barely eaten or slept and made some really dark thoughts, which I'd rather not go into. She told me she's a horrible girlfriend for leaving me alone in my condition and that she doesn't expect us to be together again after that, which I told her that isn't the case. So we have a very long road ahead of us. My number one priority is getting her to see a therapist, which I suggested we do together if she's scared to do it alone. So yeah, that's where we are. Some of you are right. There are some deeper issues behind what happened that I could possibly not have known. I also want to take this opportunity to say something I got messaged about a lot. I got a lot of comments and messages saying that I was a moron for what I did at that parking lot and that I should have mind my own business next time and not to play the hero, etc. That is correct. That is correct, though. That's people saying, hey, there are enough people that don't condone the raping of women that are going to step up, okay? If there's a situation going on, multiple guys will step up. All you have to do is alert the people that there's a situation going on, and then you can handle it as a group. If you are like trying to white knight this shit alone, that is it's not good, especially if that guy is much larger than you. Because then he just beats you up, and then he just rapes the women anyways. Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think it's all circumstantial. Like, where's it at? What's going on? Is he physically... Because, like, that guy was being an asshole. He was trying to convince these girls to go back to his place. At that time, he was not raping anybody. He was not, like, he was being a belligerent asshole trying to spit game on these girls. But, like, was he being... Like, other than his words, was he being offensive? Like, was he putting his hands on them? Like that's where, you know, it's all situational. And at that time, it does not sound like he was being overly, like, violently aggressive to these girls. So at that, you do have the time to just be like, hey, buddy, come over here. You, like, to somebody else that's around. You're in a parking lot. Is there anybody else out there? Then you can call in the reinforcements and a couple guys go over and talk to him.
It's a lot easier to jump a big guy than one-on-one fight him. So.
And then find a tire iron in the
back of your car. Rebar, something. You're in a parking lot. You got something, some kind of access to something. I guarantee you the women, they probably had mace on them for if he got two hands on. They would have just fucking...
That would have been perfect.
Yep, just he'd have went down. I'm going to tell you that.
Does your girl have mace?
That shit hurts. So, first of all, I did not initiate the fight with the dude. As I said, when I got there, I tried to pretend I was the boyfriend of one of the girls in case. When that didn't work, I got between the girls and the dude trying to create some space between me and them. And that's when he started to push me and eventually started throwing punches. Secondly, no matter how hard I hit the gym, I would never be able to take that guy one-on-one. Yes, you would.
Well, and it's more about technique than it is about how big you are.
100%.
You don't have to be big.
100%. I knew there's plenty of short guys that I know that would it don't matter if you're 6'4", they'll climb your ass like a spider monkey and give you an ass whooping. It's literally about technique. As I said, I'm pretty fit and I've been working out for several years, but the fella was a lot bigger than me. Unless I had a gun or something, which isn't legal in my country, I was doomed. Finally, for the people telling me to mind my own business, well, let me tell you, that's exactly what I was doing. It was mine and everyone else's responsibility to look after ones who can't protect themselves in this shitty world. No, I do not consider myself a hero, nor do I do it for the show. I did it because some other instance, one of those girls could have been my girlfriend, sister, mother needing help. We're all for saying, hey, yes, you can help. Help does not mean going in to fight this guy one-on-one.
Well, it's the whole put your mask on before you put on somebody else's. Like, you need to protect yourself to figure out how you can get them out safely. Like, if you get your ass kicked, you didn't help anybody.
The last line of that was like, if I was put in this situation 100 more times, I would have acted the same. No, you learn from that. And then you, like, at no point do you act the same. I say, I was a dumbass for doing that. Now, if a group of people wanted to beat my ass, if there's 4 guys that are like, hey, we're going to fuck you up, buddy. I'm like, listen, guys, I apologize for whatever I did to offend y'all. I'm a 33-year-old man now. I understand. It's not the same. It's not the same as when I was, in my teens, early 20s. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry that I offended y'all. We don't need to take it any further. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to try to go to my car, okay? If they then try to, like I said, I'm going to be biting dicks, biting nutsacks, fucking shelling up and uppercutting when I see the chance. Maybe they start jumping me. They tire out a little bit. Not everybody's a goddamn cardio monkey, so cardio freak. They are not just going to beat me up for, as much as I could take it. You cover your vitals, get beat up, fucking cover up your neck, cover up your belly so you ain't getting kicked in it. And when they walk away, it's good to go. If it don't seem like they're going to stop, do what you can. If you got a little knife on you, pull out that knife. Look, ain't nobody going to judge you cutting somebody up a little bit.
No, I mean,
if you're getting fucked up.
That's the thing is, a fight, it's different if it was like 2 guys that just want to fist fight for whatever reason. But like, yeah, when it comes to, this is a life or death situation, you just do whatever. Like, there's nothing off the table. If you got a knife, if you got a fucking broken piece of glass, you do whatever
You go ham.
you fucking can.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
And you're not the problem. Like, especially because that is the thing, is like, for the most part, like, this isn't that serious, guys. Like, we can just walk away. Nothing has to happen. Like, nobody's hurt. Nobody's like, there's no, like, our pride might be hurt. But other than that, like, we ain't done nothing yet.
When I thought I was going to have to fight a hobo with a knife, when I saw you talking to that cop, I was like, fuck yes. I don't have to fight a hobo with a knife. Like, that's the last thing I want to do is fight a hobo.
And then turns out he was like, yeah, go ahead and go fight those guys.
Yeah. The last thing I want to do is fight a hobo, a homeless man with a knife who was fucking sitting there calling Dylan N-word boy, which
Mike's so proud of that. He's so happy that story exists.
it's so funny. Dylan did just sit there while old dude is like got a knife 5 feet away from me. I'm like, Dylan,
he wasn't 5 feet away from me.
We're right here. There is the lane where you park, and then he's right there. He was a good,
that's 15 feet.
Okay, 15 feet. I'm just like, Dylan, look, park right there so I can get out of the truck. And Dylan does it. And at this point, I didn't see anybody. I thought Dylan was walking up. I was like, I guess we're jumping a homeless guy with a knife, whatever. I didn't care. And I'm like walking up. I'm saying something to him. And then I look over and Dylan's talking to a cop. I'm like, yay, a police officer. I don't have to do nothing. Get him, officer. And then the cop literally said, oh, he's one of the good ones. And he didn't mean black people. He meant homeless people. He was like, he's one of the good homeless people. The one brandishing the knife, that's one of the...
And threatening to kill me.
Yeah, well, we can't do nothing until he stabs you. Waving a knife around is not a crime, even though it is. He has brandished a weapon. That cop was just like, when he stabs somebody, if he went in there and like started attacking your wife and daughter, maybe I could do something. But right now, if he just looks like he's going to attack somebody,
can't do that.
Sorry, bud. Just can't. You can't do
We're having a
anything these
parade
days.
here today, and that's what I'm worried about.
Literally, that's what he was worried about. He was worried about the little parade. I was like, what the fuck?
Maybe not have the homeless guy brandishing a knife on parade day.
But we've seen the homeless guy a couple times around.
I haven't seen him once. No.
I thought when we walked past the homeless encampment, we walked past that bridge, he walked up.
I don't
Maybe
know.
that was being lit. I think that was being Litty. Never mind.
Yeah, no, we haven't ran into him. You've pointed him out, but you just think all homeless black guys look the same. So
listen, that's my problem is I think all homeless people look the same. All right, guys. Well, since we ain't got a podcast anymore, since Mike's getting canceled, I guess we love you so much and we will see you next time.
Later.